Karambit box cutter. Who knew? Well, hello there. How are you guys doing today? What's going on, people? The real Sharif M here, aka Mangana Steel. And if you guys know anything about me, I have gotten to a place in the knife world where I am really interested in kind of unique solutions and unique approaches to things. And a while ago, a group called Dauntless Manufacturing came on my radar because of this. Check this guy out. It is a Karambit box cutter, which is really dope. Now, you may be asking, what is the point of this? Well, I mean, aside from being a really, really good box cutter, it's completely unique, and I've never seen anything like that. So when I was at Blade Show this year, I decided, I actually stumbled upon their booth, and I had been planning on picking one up. They have this whole configurator on their website where you can select what you want the show side and the kind of the back side to be. Do you want it to have the ring or not? Believe it or not, yeah, you can get it without this ring, but why would you? And I was like, I'm gonna get it. But then I stumbled upon their booth at Blade Show, and they had them out there, and I got it in hand, and I was like, dudes, it fits my hands. And it was the very first thing that I bought at Blade Show, was actually this guy. So let me tell you a little bit about it. So Dauntless Manufacturing made this freaking box cutter, and I think it's pretty pretty awesome. You have micarta on this side, along with these 3 screws right here to keep it closed. On the back side, you have this, I believe, bronzed titanium. Don't quote me if I'm not wrong on that. And you have a Karambit ring. And this is the grip in my double extra large size hands. So it's actually incredibly comfortable, and I can get a really, really solid grip on it. And as a matter of fact, I think the ergos on this thing, despite its kind of odd looks, are phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. There was at least 3 different people that I showed this to at the show that immediately were like, yo, take me over to the Dauntless booth. I need to pick one of these up. And if you're one of those people, you're checking out this video, props to you, because yeah, you guys know this thing is dope, right? Now, they even thought about kind of the ergos of where your index finger is going to be, where your thumb is going to land in your most common box cutter grip, right? But part of their thought process for this guy was that this is a knife you can travel with, right? So you can actually take out the blade, take it on a trip with you to a country where they don't want you to bring in any knives, and it's just this handle. You can say, oh, it's a little toy for me, I'm just gonna sit here and flip it and play around with it and all of that good stuff, right? But then, if you want to carry a knife, you go and you get one of these universal box cutter blades and you can put it in. Speaking of which, they did the pretty genius thing of including the Allen key that you need to open it right here in the spine, and it's retained by a super strong magnet. So you literally there's your Allen key, boom, you just open up the knife and you can swap out the blades. That simple. And then you put the Allen key back in its place, and it's held there, and I've never had any chance of that thing coming out, at all. That thing is super retained well in here, right? Now, this thing is incredible. I mean, really, the ergos are fun. You know, I love the idea of having a unique box cutter. I hate the usual ones. And I don't like a lot of what I've seen in the industry, right? They're usually like big and clunky, but there's just something that's just so cool about this. I mean, with this polished micarta right here on the show side, I guess you would call, you know, and then on the back side they have the milling pattern mirrored here. It's such a simple concept, but done like so very, very well, you know. There's even a little bit of jimping here, which just, I don't know, it just feels good, you know. A little bit of jimping here on the back side, and in every regard, this feels like you have an excellent grip on your tool. And grip on your tool. But anyways, I've used this thing actually a lot. So I recently got a Vaultec safe, right? Bam, that guy came in like a massive box. And then I got this table here that I'm using for shipping. I'm preparing for my Kaimano shipments and stuff like that. And I started using it for filming here, you know. And the boxes that they came with, or came in, were both like relatively large. And it was so much easier to bust this guy out and just to like just slice through the packages than to bring out any of my trusty EDC knives. Now, it comes with this Kydex sheath. I believe it's Kydex. I didn't research, but basically it's a sheath. It's okay. The one thing that is nice about it, though, is that you can store the knife in both positions, right? So in that sense, it is well thought out. My one complaint about the sheath actually is that it's a little finicky about getting the blade in and out, and I have tipped the blade here. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. So I don't have the absolute, like, you know, flattest tip right there. It is chipped just a little bit. And that happened, believe it or not, from the sheath and not from cutting open any boxes. But, okay, whatever. Like, I'm not using, or I don't need to have, like, that absolute tip in order to cut down a box. The blade is thin enough. I can literally just put it at the edge of a box and slice through it. Now, along with that, the sheath, they included this little clip, which is a pretty serious fucking thing, you know. So if you wanted to pocket this, you could carry it kind of like a pocket EDC knife, and you know, it's great. I do think getting it out of pocket will be a little bit of a pain in the butt because of this little guy right here. I mean, it's great for retention. You see that? But man, that's going to grab whatever you need, and you're really going to have to, you know, get your finger in there and kind of lift it out, which is really why I actually put this little strip of leather on here. And predominantly, when I carry this, sorry, microphone, I carry it as a neck knife because it's just easier for me to grab, cut up in a box, and then put this back here, you know, boom, got it. And I can have my hands free to gather the elements of my box and take it to a trash bin, you know. I don't think I need to show you what cutting with this blade does. Anybody who's used the box cutter knows that these things are basically the gold standard for cutting through any sort of cardboard. But dudes, as a unique entry to the knife world, this Dauntless engineering or manufacturing, let me make sure I get the name right, because I like the thing so much. This thing is called the Utility Blade Karambit by Dauntless Manufacturing. I will put a link below, you know, if you guys are interested in picking one of these up. I think this thing is super dope. I love it. It's so comfortable in the hand. I love this thing. It's one of my favorite pickups ever, honestly. It's something that I will sit here and I will just, you know, kind of play with and, you know, do the whole Karambit thing with. I'm way more comfortable actually doing the Karambit spins with this guy than I am with this guy for some reason. You know, like something about the weight, the balance, all of that just feels better with this Dauntless, you know, utility Karambit. So if you guys dig this, you're looking for a box cutter that's unique and really, really dope, give this one a look-see. This is an absolute winner.